Welcome back, team. I'm Johnny Havey, one of the co-founders of eLearning Partners. And this channel, eLearning Simplified, is all about simplifying e-learning for you and, more importantly, your learners. In this channel, we talk about how to create, how to sell, market your course, and if you are building an internal e-learning program for your employees and contractors, we'll talk about that as well. Now, we're talking about everything you need to know to create e-learning today. And you want to stay until the end because we have a free giveaway at the end of this video. So let's jump into it. Content, technology, distribution. These are the three pillars of e-learning. We talk about this a lot on the channel. We also call this CTD. Very important, because e-learning is made up of these three things. Without content, you don't have e-learning. Without technology, you don't have e-learning. And without distribution, your learners will never see your e-learning. So what is content? Content's pretty simple. What you're watching right now is e-learning content. Videos, text, audio. Those of you out there who are experts using authoring tools create content. Technology. What is technology? Technology is really made up of 5 things. You're going to create content, create courses, host courses, collect data, and access courses. That's what technology means from an e-learning perspective. Technology that creates content, technology that creates courses, authoring tools do that, technology that hosts courses, technology that collects data around your learners, and technology that actually allows your users to access those courses. YouTube is a type of e-learning technology. It does all these things. It allows you to create content. It allows you to create courses. You know, a channel could be looked at as a course. It hosts the course. It collects data on you. You are watching this right now. We in the back end of YouTube and our admin panel can see the data about what you watched on our channel. And it gives you access to it. Now, once you have content and technology, you basically have an e-learning program. But your learners aren't able to see it yet. That's why you have distribution. Distribution is the most important pillar. Now, without content and technology, you have nothing to distribute. But without distributing content and technology, you can spend tons of time, money, and stress building a program, and your learners will never see it. So distribution is super important. And you really have internal and external distribution. You have internal and external. Internal means distributing your course to your employees or your contractors. That would be building a program, a training program, so you can scale out your training for your organization. Or if you're an individual, build out a training program so you can start hiring people to work for you. External would be actually making money off of your program. So when we're talking about external, that's like building a course and selling it. Very important to know if you're building internal or external e-learning course. CTD, content, technology, distribution. That is what makes up e-learning. However, there's one piece that these three need in order to even exist. The most important part of e-learning, when you're creating that course and you're trying to sell it, when you're creating that course and trying to train your employees and contractors, there's one thing that all of this hinges on: your learners. I haven't had to change colors, it's so important. Your learners. At eLearning Partners and on this eLearning Simplified channel, we call your learners your PLPs. We talk about this more in our course, and we talk about this in our MasterClass. But to give you a quick definition, a PLP is a perfect learner profile. So perfect learner profile. Now, when you're building the content for your course and you're deciding what kind of content should I create? How should it look? You know how you get the answer? You ask your learners. So your learners dictate content. And then when you're looking at what technology do I need, who do you ask? Your learners. So same thing. Learners dictate technology. And then distribution. You got to know a lot about your learners or your PLPs, these perfect learner profiles, in order to successfully distribute your course. So, yet again, learner-centric. It's another way of saying it. Learner-centric. We talk about learner-centric everything on this channel. Everything you do with your e-learning needs to be learner-centric. That means that throughout every step of your process, we talk about this in our MasterClass, throughout every step of your process, you need to come back to your learners. We also have some great content on the channel that tells you tips on how to continuously get learner feedback. And we really do mean continuously. You can't just ask them once. You don't just ask them at the beginning of creating the program and then never talk to them again. You want to ask them in every step. Throughout your entire e-learning program, when you are creating e-learning, you're making a series of hypotheses. You're hypothesizing what kind of content your learners are going to connect with. You're hypothesizing how they want to access your course, what type of technology they want to access. And you're definitely hypothesizing how they're going to actually access your course and be distributed to. Especially when we're talking about external. When we're talking about external distribution, we're talking about testing a distribution funnel and the content that your learners actually resonate with. When you're talking about internal distribution, you're talking about, okay, well, we have this e-learning program, but my employees aren't engaging with it. My contractors just don't care to take it. Well, that's why you need to ask them, step back, take a step back, and ask your learners, how can we make this easier for you? Because you're building the program for them. Yes, you're going to make some money off of it, right? If you're building an internal program, you're going to save money. You're going to save time, money, and stress. If you're building an external e-learning program, you're going to make money off selling it. But if your learners don't engage with it, then you're not going to do either. You're not going to save time, money, and stress, and you're not going to make money. So that is everything you need to know to creating your e-learning. Everything you do, come back to your learners. You need to know your learners so well as if your life depended on it. Because if you don't know them that well, you're going to waste a ton of time, money, and be stressed out of your mind. And if you're stressed out of your mind, then don't do this. Go do something else. Don't get into e-learning. The last thing we want for you is to spend a ton of money and time and not get anything out of your e-learning program. That happens. And it happens when people don't focus on their learners. So everything you need to know to create e-learning is right here. It is your learners. Talk to your learners. We hear stories all the time about people who get into e-learning and they don't focus on their learners. When they're looking at everything you need to know to create e-learning, they miss the learner piece. This one specific story, working with this company, billion-dollar company, implement this technology, and now their learners are stuck with it. And they're in the stage of, they spent all this money on implementing this e-learning technology, no one wants to use it, and now they have to spend all this time and money and stress getting their learners to actually use it. What happens though, when you start with your learners, build the foundation of CTD based on your learners, that'll never happen. Because you can actually launch your e-learning program without any special e-learning technology. You're gonna have to check out some other videos on our channel though to learn more about that. It's pretty cool. Now, we know that you watched through this and probably have more and more questions about e-learning. Well, that's why we have a free masterclass linked in our description of the video below, all about how to guarantee the success of your e-learning program. It really will guarantee its success. If you're a business or an individual If you're creating an internal or an external e-learning program, it doesn't matter. This masterclass teaches you how to guarantee success. If you learned something new in this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That will allow you to get instant access to new content that we put out all about e-learning and really the different side of e-learning. The side that's all about the learners, the learner-centric side, the side that matters. And that's really why my co-founder Hector and I started eLearning Partners, started eLearning Simplified, this channel, is because we are lifelong learners. And I worked in public accounting at one point, and I was going through my continuous education training for my CPA license, and I used an e-learning program, and while all the content was there, the technology just wasn't very good, and the distribution wasn't great. I didn't connect with it. It wasn't learner-centric. It was there to check a box. And that's why, for me, I even do this, is because it's all about the learner. So to stay up to date, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Now, you are probably asking this question because you've heard the horror stories of how long it can take to launch an e-learning program. And you've probably also heard that when an e-learning program is launched, learners never see it. That is a big problem. Why would you want to spend all this money and time and stress in building a program that your learners never see? Well, you're in the right place, because in this video, we're going to tell you the 2 key ways to guarantee success in launching your course in a timely manner.